boogie. 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys, Bobby here from Friction CrossFit with
Mike from Friction CrossFit.
So today we want to kind of open up a discussion that we often talk to at a certain point with almost every member. Is kind of a general topic. Most of it's subjective, but it's about building a garage gym or starting to acquire equipment at home and kind of dig into that a little bit. So the first thing is, this is mostly a pro and con list on kind of two different subjects. The first one is just building a garage gym. We'll start with the cons, look at the negatives first.
So yeah, with building a garage gym, some of the bad things that we can see, again, these are general and subjective. So you can get distractions at home, whatever that may be for you. Money invested, you have to buy all of the equipment, you have to clean all of the equipment, you have to maintain all of it pretty regularly, and then you have to program for yourself, and this takes effort, time to think, setting aside time to think about your programming, if it's going to work. Am I wasting my time? Am I experienced enough to do what's effective and right and safe? And then you're possibly training alone, with just you. Like, maybe you have friends come over every now and again, but it's just you. And with that programming, you might be avoiding those weaknesses that you may or may not find in your programming. And then there is no in-person coaching, so there's no live feedback, and there's no long-term guidance. Like, there's no check-ins with anybody. It's just you all alone, and you don't meet new people unless you have strangers come over to your garage gym.
Just walking on it, willy-nilly.
As far as some of the good things that we can see from having a garage gym, it's convenient. You don't have to go anywhere, especially if something like the weather's bad. It's winter right now, so if we get a really bad snowstorm and, say, for instance, we have to close the gym here, you don't have to go anywhere. You got your home gym. And then you train alone. You do get that privacy. That could be a good thing. And then you enjoy the challenge of programming. So if you want to take on the challenge of doing that for yourself, go for it. And then you have to build out your cool garage gym. So if you watch Rogue Fitness's Instagram, they sometimes post cool garage gyms. They look cool. It is cool. And then there is some time to do some extra training at home. So if you can't make it into the box 3 or 4 times a week, and you want to do some extra benching or squatting at home, having a home gym is probably the way to go with that.
Yeah, and it's really just a positive investment in yourself. I mean, it's one thing we always kind of talk about here, and we'll kind of talk about continuing at your CrossFit box, is one of the pros to that is, you kind of get that software from the coach. Like, our body's the hardware, but your coaches are really providing you the how-to with that. So, one of the pros of continuing at the box is you do have that guidance from a certified coach. Anybody we bring in here is going to be friendly. That could be a con at another box where they aren't the nicest coaches. So choose your box wisely. But you get live feedback. So if you're making a mistake, you get somebody there right on the spot to tell you, hey, here's a fault. We need to correct this, and here's how to do that. And you get that instantaneously, right? You have a proper training atmosphere. Like, the sole purpose of this place is to provide a place for people to train. We're able to drop barbells if need be. If we want to pump up the energy in the room, we can crank the music up, we can get loud. And we have a structured annual training program for our CrossFit program, for any of the clubs we offer. And with that, we have that multitude of service. So, if you don't like doing the group atmosphere or you need the one-on-one training, that's there, and that's a huge commodity for a lot of people, just from a scheduling standpoint, right? Like, class schedule is one of the negatives that we talk about with a CrossFit box, but you can kind of counter that with, well, I can meet with a trainer one-on-one, right? At multitude of services, we offer a variety of classes. Generally, most gyms might not. That's something that we offer here. So, like, we do a barbell, we do a gymnastics, a powerlifting, and then like specialty courses, specialty clinics. So whether you have an upcoming like running course, we have a kettlebell clinic coming up, or we're going to do a competitors course, things like that. And then nutrition. So everything from coaching, accountability, and then like challenges. So you get a lot of things there, and then reliable tracking. So the software we're using allows you to stay consistent with what you're doing, and And then annual competitions, challenges, things like that, outings for the gym, where you can kind of ramp up, get prepared for things, and that can really motivate you to make progress. And then that social dynamic, that's huge, right? Like having that proper training atmosphere is one thing, but when you start developing long-standing relationships and friendships with other members of the gym, coaches of the gym, or just even the opportunity to have new friendships, right? And having a Facebook group where you can properly vent fitness or share it or celebrate in your successes. But I think maybe the last thing is just having that clean facility that is properly maintained and taken care of. When we look at some of the cons, like the price can be a negative for some people because, looking at a garage gym or you're going to buy fitness anywhere, you're going to look at the market value, right? So that's always a component there, but it's got to make sense for you. So it could be a con. We talked about class schedule, sometimes class size. Here at First Gym, we limit our class size. A lot of gyms don't. So you might roll into a class and there could be 30 plus people in there with one coach, and you're probably not going to get a whole lot of that one-on-one attention or any correction on your fault at all. And then the program might not be specific to you, or maybe you just don't want to do the workout that day. That might mean you're not working out that day. So getting the consistency you need to make progress. And then that social dynamic, that isn't always a positive. That could be a negative, right? Like maybe you don't love the group setting. Maybe you're somebody that, you just go to the gym, do your thing, throw your headset on and grind, right? You might not like certain people in the group. And you might just not be somebody that's good at making friends, or maybe you're new and you don't have friends there, right? And I think maybe the last thing to really kind of consider as a con is maybe that pressure to perform, right? Like, I don't like people watching me execute a max effort lift, or, I don't like people cheering me on at the end of a workout and I'm the last one there, right? So sometimes that can be a negative. And then that need to feel like you always need to be doing better, right? Sometimes that's, something we don't, but it's there, right? Everybody kind of feels that, even though that's not really the purpose. So it's kind of more of opening up a conversation and, kind of talking about, because we usually have members come up to us and ask us about it. So I thought this could be a shortcut for you guys.
Yeah. Remember, this list isn't necessarily exhaustive. There are other things that could be placed in other spots. And like we said, it's general and subjective to you and to us. So things can change, but take this for what it's worth.
See you later.